Newspapers, since the invention of the printing press in the 1800s. Electric telegraph, developed in the 1840s. Radio, broadcast began in the 1920s. Television, started in Germany and the UK in 1936 and picked up in the US by 1948. Internet, World Wide Web, global network. Origins dating back to the 1960s, funded in the 1980s, and commercialized in the 1990s.
These mediums of mass media have drastically changed the way the world communicates. You can still read the news in the paper with your morning coffee, or watch global events on TV, but how is internet being used in the transformation of individuals and society?
Acting as a mega media outlet, the internet provides so much information for us all, but is it a help or a hindrance? We're going to look at what the scholars are saying about it. Just follow me, we'll dive in deeper. Before we log on to the virtual world of the internet, let's lay down some foundation with some theories.
Medium theory, an approach that emphasizes the importance of media technologies in determining the features of media products and content, as well as determining their social, cultural, political, and economic uses. As Marshall McLuhan more clearly puts it, media become extensions of ourselves, extensions of our human senses. What matters then is not the content of these media technologies, but the technologies themselves. So when we want to learn about a medium's effect on a person, it's important to understand that the medium itself, in this case the internet, is significant to the message it creates, not in what content it's producing, but rather the way using it shapes the message. Technological determinism. The argument that technologies significantly affect and shape people's lives independent of social, political, and economic factors that may affect how these technologies are invented and adopted. A common and recurring debate on internet use is what effects it has on a person's intelligence and brain activity. So let's check out the pros and cons.
Gary Small talks about an experiment done with 24 adults aged 55 to 76. Half of the group had experience using the internet and the other half had none. And what they did was they compared brain activity between the two groups when using an online search engine and when reading. And what they found was that the people with prior experience actually used more of the brain when using the internet than reading. And it's kind of interesting because that leads people to believe that the more you use the internet, the smarter it makes you. David Mallon talks about the purpose of the internet and why it was created. It was created to provide millions and thousands of venues for information and research to be gotten, and that ultimately makes us smarter. Nicholas Carr talks about an experiment done with students at Cornell University where half the class was allowed to use their laptops and the other half wasn't during one of the lectures. And at the end they did a small testing. And what they found were that the students that were allowed to use the laptops actually did significantly worse. You would think that with access to the internet and anything like that, they were able to access information, but it was actually a distraction, and most of those students weren't able to focus on what they had to do. Michael Merzenich talks about how these effects don't stay when we're only using the internet, but they continue to be present in our minds after we're gone from the computers, and he calls that a massive remodeling of the brain. Did you know that we spend less than 2 minutes on every site we visit? Jacob Nielsen talks about how search engines promote and encourage such superficial visits to multiple websites. How are we supposed to find any valuable, important, relevant information when we're spending such a minute amount of time looking?
As you may recall, technological determinism can help to better understand internet use and social change, as it also can be paired with medium theory to uncover the facts about internet and society.
Marshall McLuhan explains, medium theory states that any advanced modern society is shaped by the various media technologies that are available to it. Media have powerful effects on societies. In order to break down the research on social change in the Internet, we'll start with 4 approaches to describe social impact of information technology.
The Internet allows people to achieve goals and perform activities in new ways. In some cases, the Internet is just displacing a function with an alternative. Like the radio, you can listen to music online. Mediums are swapped for one another, but the main purpose is for cost and convenience. The Internet allows or emphasizes qualitative changes not just to accomplish old goals, but new ones also, like experimenting with identities online. It can expand and shape our social life, and it aids in maintaining friendships through life changes, like moving away to college. People with stronger social networks tend to be happier and healthier, and surveys show having a personal computer at home and spending time online have proven to increase students' scores on tests. But with Internet use, there are consequences to general well-being, such as physical and mental health, privacy, educational attainments, and income. Research has also proven that some people feel more depressed and isolated since logging on to this World Wide Web. The most important approach. Since the Internet, there's been economic growth and change. Like with online businesses, new high-rise office buildings are built just for the increased ability to generate through the web. There's also a link to computer usage and positive attitudes to new technology with a higher paying income for both men and women. This is a significant social effect because historically, men hold a higher advantage in employment. But citizens are engaging less since the Internet. They vote less, go to church less, engage in politics less, and volunteer less. And this social disengagement could lead to major consequences to the social fabric, and even more corrupt and a less efficient government and more crime. There are 2 theories. One, that either some people have a concern for community engagement and use the Internet to enhance and connect people, or 2, that some people don't have a concern with this community involvement, are heavy users, and essentially become even further disengaged.
Having said that, there are 3 social issues of the Internet: access, civic and community involvement, and social interaction and expression. In 2010, 8 out of 10 Canadian households had access to the Internet.
The Internet narrows the range of participation based on those who can and cannot access it. It also erodes cultural traditions. However, it does overcome differences in geography, social class, age, and time zone.
The number of online videos the average user watches in a month.
The Internet can exploit people, reduce the quality of life, and fragment community. But it does complement offline relations, enrich cultural production, and spur activism beyond local regions.
Average number of emails sent per day.
Among other things, the Internet kills creativity, allows plagiarism, is dominated by multinational corporations, and propagates addictions. Yet it allows friendships to form, regenerates writing and correspondence, and allows new creative arts to be expressed. Ah, the Internet, the World Wide Web, the global network. There you have it. Internet use and abuse to individuals and society. The numbers are staggering, and the research is real. By looking into the pros and cons of using the Internet, we can now choose between Google and the library, online forums and volunteer groups, emailing your best friend, or sitting down for coffee and a chat. Either way, you still use the Internet to watch this video. Did you learn something? Did it distract you from writing your essay? Are you multitasking while you watch? How much of your life is online? What's your statistic?